10 things I would do to hit 10K months. Let's get into this. I'm going to hit record, so you guys are going to have this for the podcast as well as on Instagram. But wow, I made a masterclass for you guys. Hello, Molly. Hello, my love. I'm so excited. You guys, this is filled with insane amount of information. I don't know what happened, but this could 100% be a masterclass. So get your pen, get your notepad, get ready. This is going to be so informative. All of my favorite people are here. Hello, Jen. Hello, Loretta. Hello, my loves. Okay, drop an emoji if you're excited for this masterclass. 10 things. I actually added 12. You guys know I'm a high achiever. So 12 things I would do to hit 10K months. Drop an emoji if you're excited. I'm going to hit record and we're going to just get right into it. So, hello, happy Friday. Hello and welcome back to the Can't Stop Talking podcast. So on today's podcast, we are also on IG Live and we are going to talk about the 10 things to implement to hit 10K months. Get out your pen, get out your paper. This is going to be the best podcast IG episode you have ever listened to. I can promise you that. So let's get right into it. You guys know I am not a fluff person. I just like steps. There are really actionable steps in this. That's why I say pull out a pen, pull out a piece of paper, because I'm going to even tell you pieces of content. So number one, the first thing that I would do if I was trying to hit 10K months is I would focus on my product suite. So if I could go back in time, I would have simplified my product suite. I would not have had as many courses as I had, right? So when I was starting out, I was someone who cranked out 5 courses in the span of 5 months. So I was constantly selling, I was constantly launching, I was constantly doing another sales strategy to get people into these courses. And what happened is I burnt out and I was always just getting 5 people in and then just feeling like the course wasn't good enough. So if I could have gone back in time, the first thing I would have done is simplified my product suite and I would have actually had 1 course. To each their own though. I want to say that, right? My way is not always the highway. I am the type of coach who you have to follow your intuition. If you are someone who likes pumping out courses, then do that. For me, I wanted 1 course that was my holy grail that I knew my clients could come to and be like, this is my Bible. I pull it up every single day. And that for me is Dream Business Accelerator, right? I know I'm going to get the testimonials. I know I have the testimonials. I know exactly how to sell it. I know I can sell it on autopilot and it can be passive income. So the first thing I would do is I would have simplified my product suite. And so with the product suite, the second thing I would do is I would have had my membership a lot sooner. So I came out with my Take Action membership this year, right? I think it was just 2 months ago. And I would have came out with my membership a lot sooner. Why? Because when someone pays you once, they're more likely to pay you again. So that's the first reason. But the second reason I wanted to have a membership is so that I can give my clients tons and tons of value and they can have a place that wasn't Instagram. So I did not have to focus on the algorithm. I know with my membership, it is me speaking directly to them. It is my own platform. It is like having my own Instagram. So when they log on to the membership, it's just me. I don't have to fight with the algorithm. I don't have to hope that the algorithm spits my stuff out. I know that if they're coming to the membership, they're going to hear directly from me. The membership is fire. Oh, thank you, Molly. And you guys on the podcast are going to hear me talk to the people who are commenting on Instagram Live if you're confused. But okay, so with the membership as well, not only do I really get to care about my clients and they get to learn something new every month, but that helps with my creativity. So since I'm not coming out with a course now every single month, I am coming out with a new topic in the membership. So this month's topic is messaging. Next month is going to be content, which is so exciting. But as you can see, my creativity still gets sparked. And so I still get to come up with new things without having to launch something completely new, come up with new branding, come up with who I'm selling it to. I just sell the membership. You see how much easier that is for me? I don't have to come up with new masterclass names. I don't have to come up with new selling points. I just say, if you want to be in the membership, this is the sales page. This is why. So much freaking easier. The next thing with the membership is if you start a membership, in the long run, you can actually just hit 10K months from that. So say you start your membership and down the line, a year down the line, you get 100 people in. And it's $20 a month, just $20 a month. That is $2,000 of reoccurring revenue every single month. Say you get 500 people into your membership, right? That is $10,000 of reoccurring revenue every single month. You could have a product suite so simple that it's just a membership and you put your all into it. I knew this masterclass is just going to blow your guys' mind already. So let me know if you guys are like, oh my God, this is already so good. So the third thing that I would do is I would simplify everything. You guys know I am absolutely the queen of simple, easy, right? And so I would simplify everything. Everyone is doing too much. We really are. If you've been in my world, you know how simple it gets to be. The first thing I would do is I would look at all the shoulds in my business. Where am I telling myself I should be doing something? For example, the first time this happened to me, I years ago used to do sales calls because I told myself I should be doing sales calls. Everyone is doing sales calls. And then I asked myself, is this a waste of my time? Yes, I was waiting on these sales calls and people just weren't showing up. I was having to look good, right? And at the end of the day, sometimes people wouldn't even buy. And so I asked myself, how do I want to get sold to? And when I asked myself that, I was like, I like being sold into the DMs. And so then I switched to selling in the DMs, got rid of all the limiting beliefs saying that was not possible. And now today, I literally close $12,000 in the DMs, right? And I can do it from anywhere. I don't have to jump onto a sales call. And so that was getting rid of the shoulds in my business. A lot of you guys know I don't have a lot of sales pages. I actually only have one sales page. Maybe in the future, I'll outsource that and have more sales pages. But that is something that was a should in my business that I would waste a lot of time on that I did not need, right? I just needed to sell on my Instagram stories. Where are you overcomplicating everything and doing things that actually aren't moving the needle? So let me explain. The only 4 buckets, if you take anything away from this whole podcast, masterclass, IG Live, this is it. The 4 buckets you need to be pouring into every single day and forget the rest, right? Are content, which we're going to talk about today, your relationships, this is huge with your audience, your sales process, and then the transformation. That's it. You can take away everything else. Content, relationships with your audience, selling, and then the transformation, right? And so if you just pour into those 4 things, then you don't have to do everything else. I see with my clients, they're constantly like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make the whole course. Oh my gosh, you guys, I've been talking to everyone in the DMs and they're talking about they're coming out with a course and they are making the whole course before they sell it. Oh my gosh, you could be making money right now if you just sold the course before you actually have the content. And you're like, Sam, what? What do you mean? That's like a lie. No, it's not. What you're going to do is you're going to drip feed the course. So how it's going to work is you're going to pre-sell it, make sure people want your course, make sure people want to get in it. And then you're going to come out with the first module, ask your audience, how did you like that module? What more do you need? They're going to tell you, and then you're going to make the second module so that it's completely crafted to your audience. You get paid, you have motivation to make the course because you're paid, and your audience is a lot happier because they're getting exactly what they want. That is working easier. That is taking out all the fluff, right? Okay, so that was number 3. Simplify everything. If you need help with that, I'm your girl. I'm simple or I'm not doing it. Okay, 4, content. Get your pen and paper out. If I was going back, I would only do 3 types of content. That would be storytelling, that would be educational content, and then it would be viral content. That's just content to attract people into your world. So if we're thinking about storytelling, what is the difference between storytelling and educational content? The only difference between storytelling and educational content is storytelling is how I, and you can write this down as a post, how I went from X to Y, right? So for example, how I went from 0 to 10K months. That is a storytelling post. That's exactly how I went from it, right? And then educational post would be how to go from 0 to 10K months, right? So that's the only difference. And people love these two buckets. You can do it with your clients, right? How my client went from, I have a client who's actually on this live right now, how my client went from, $80,000 in debt to building an empire. Easy, right? Or if I was making a educational post, it would be how to get out of debt and build an empire. These are the two main pieces of content, and then add in the viral content, making reels, make things that people want to share. And that's how you're going to get clients into your world. But how you're going to convert the clients is from the storytelling and the educational content. Super easy. I would also be telling my story so much more. I would be telling my story on my stories. I would be making reels about my story. So what is my story, right? My story personally, and this is it. It can be this short. Sometimes you can tell the long version, but it can be this short. My story is I went from being furloughed, living at my parents' house, right? And just starting this Instagram to making 10K months, having an audience of 20,000 people, and building this business, and now living in California. Easy, simple. That is your story. Simplify your story and tell it everywhere. Tell it in reels, tell it in your content, tell it on your story, right? Tell it on different podcasts. So that's with content. That's number 4. So 5, everyone's going to want to hear this one. Sales. I would have a proven strategy for sales. And so I have the strategy for you guys today. You're welcome. You're welcome. So sales, what I would do is I would have a proven strategy for sales. So what you're going to do is when you're selling on your story, you want to have these 4 different templates, right? You want to have who it's for, the program that you're selling, right? Be specific. Who is this for? Is it for the entrepreneur? Is the entrepreneur a mom, right? Is it for a busy entrepreneur mom? Be specific. Who is this for? List out all the characteristics of the person. For example, for my mastermind, this is for the woman who it's called the Play Bigger Mastermind, right? She wants to play bigger in every aspect of her life. She wants to go to 10K months and beyond. She wants to have a simpler product suite and create that reoccurring, consistent revenue. That's talking directly to you. You want them to go, oh wait, she's talking to me, right? This is the program for me. So first slide, who is the coaching for? Second slide on your story, what do they want their life to look like and feel like? This is painting the picture for your potential client. So if I was still talking about my Play Bigger Mastermind, right? What do they want their life to look like? For me, this is what happened for me. So this is what I know they want. They want to go to midday Pilates and watch recurring revenue roll in. They want to go get their nails done and have a sale, right? They want to be able to lay on the beach. They want to go to Italy and sip Aperol spritzes while they look at the sunset. Like, let's actually paint this picture so that they can really, really see it. They want to have reoccurring revenue without lifting a goddamn figure. And they want to fall so much in love with their business that they are here on a Friday doing a free little masterclass. Like, that's how much I love my business, right? And so that is painting the picture. So first slide, who is it for? Second slide, what do they want their life to look like? And be very specific, paint a picture, get descriptive. Eve said, I used some of your tips, especially selling stories in my last launch, and it worked. I actually sold one spot. I'm telling you guys, I'm giving you the juice today. It's free. Okay, so third thing I would put on my stories is a call to action. So here's how to sign up. So I personally would do DM me to sign up. Why am I doing this? We're going to get to the point, but the reason is to build connection with your audience, right? And also so that you don't sell them something they don't need. What if someone comes into my DMs asking to be in my mastermind, however, they, haven't had a client yet? Well, then they might not be ready for my mastermind, but they're going to be ready for my mini mind. And so instead of putting them in my mastermind, I'm going to sell them to their mini mind. And that's why I want them to DM me. So call to action and add the urgency. How many spots are left, right? When does it close? We want to get people ready and primed to DM you now instead of later. And then the fourth thing I would put on your stories is social proof. So I would have people messaging you to sign up, or if someone did sign up, share them. But I would just be showing people that people are really interested, because when people have FOMO, they want to join. So I know this is like a mini sales thing within a mini sales thing, a mini like sales strategy within this masterclass. It's crazy. And this is all free. So like I said, the first slide to put on your stories when you are selling, who is your program for? Be specific. 2, what do they want their life to look and feel like? Paint the picture. 3, call to action and urgency. And then 4, add social proof. Rinse and repeat this. You can do written stories, you can show up, but rinse and repeat this, I swear to God, works like magic. And what I would want to say about the sales journey is something that you can implement when you have that freedom. You know you're your own CEO, is when people come to your DMs, know that you can either upsell them or downsell them so that you don't leave money on the table. When someone comes into my DMs, because I have such a good product suite, such a simple product suite, I have my membership, I have my Dream Business Accelerator course, I have my mastermind, and I have my one-on-one coaching. Is this being recorded? Yes, it is, my love. It's going to be on the replay on this page and in my podcast. So what happens, because I have such a clear product suite, is that someone comes to my DMs, say they want to do one-on-one coaching, but they're not ready yet. Then I'm going to put them into something a little lower. Maybe my mini mind, right? Maybe my membership. And so that way I don't lose a sale. Or if they come into my DMs and they're like, I really want to be in the membership, but I'm actually looking for one-to-one support, then I would upsell them to my one-on-one coaching. And so this is how your sales process does not leave money on the table. And with sales, you can go even further. So sales psychology, you can figure out in DBA, Dream Business Accelerator, we talk about the 4 different buyers. There's actually 4 different buyers, and you are leaving money on the table if you aren't talking to each different buyer. So moving on, number 6. I can't believe we're only halfway through. Number 6, get visible. If I could go back to hit 10K months again, if I would want to hit 10K months and beyond, right? This is what I would do. I would get visible. I would be doing IG lives with other creators. I would be going live on your own platform. The amount of times that I go live and do something like this and I get DMs asking people to work with me is uncanny. People want to see you live. Why? This is what it's like to work with me one-on-one, right? You get that taste of working with me one-on-one. So when you get that taste of working with me one-on-one, you want more of it, because I'm giving away tons of value right now, but you don't know how to implement it. So you come to me for that. So when you go live, people see what it's like to work with you, right? When you go live with other creators, people come to your page and they're like, what is that girl Sam talking about? I love that live, right? Go on other platforms, podcasts, right? It's really, really easy to reuse. Stop making things hard, right? Let me explain. Right now, I'm actually creating a piece of content for IG Live. I'm also creating content for my podcast. It's the same thing. And here you're going to be like, Sam, but if I'm watching this on IG Live, why would someone else listen to it on the podcast? You guys, I've been literally downloading my IG Lives this whole time and adding them to the podcast. Not every podcast episode, but a lot of the podcast episodes. And people will come to my DMs who I know watch that IG Live and say, I just listened to your podcast about yada, yada, yada. And I am obsessed. And I know they already saw it on IG, but your brain does not remember, right? And so I would be repurposing everything. TikToks into Reels, Reels into TikToks, right? I'm the repurposing queen. If you guys want more on that, just let me know. Oh, how many times a week should I go live? And should I have a specific day each week to go live or spontaneous? I am someone who is spontaneous, right? So I actually am not good with the plan. I like to just, the day that I'm feeling it. So that's for me. But personally, I would try and go live if you're starting out, or if you're even just want a lot of more customers and clients 2 times a week, right? It works really, really well, but I would go live 2 times a week. And if you want to have a specific day because you want people to join, then tell them a specific day. And then you'll have the people join. But I'm someone who I'm going to show up whether you guys are here or not, right? And a lot of people like to watch the replay. So ask yourself, this is asking yourself the shoulds in your business, right? How do I like to do stuff? Do I like to randomly go live, or do I like to have a schedule? And if you like to have a schedule, then have a schedule and tell your audience. And then the next thing I would do is I would post in Facebook groups to get visible. So this works really well. Remember how I told you to shorten your story? I would put a picture of yourself in different Facebook groups that you're allowed to be in, right? That you're allowed to promote yourself. And it's not promoting yourself. It's actually just saying hi and introducing yourself. I would have a story. So the story, like I said before, would be in 2020, one line. In 2020, I was furloughed, living at my parents' house, starting to build this business. Now I hit 10K plus months. I, own the business of my dreams, and I live in California. It would be that small, but that they can see the transformation, and you would just say hi and drop your Instagram links and whatever else links you want, right? And so I would go into Instagram and do that. What happened? I did that, and I was in a certification, Yes Supply, and the head of Yes Supply saw my story from the Facebook group and asked me to do a YouTube with her. That YouTube went viral, and people have been asking me to work with me to this day. Put yourself out there, get visible. You do not know what opportunities are going to fall in your lap. So, like I said, again, forget visible. Go Instagram live on your own page. I would go twice a week. Try and do at least 2 Instagram lives with other creators. I would get on other platforms, but easily. Make a podcast. You could just reuse the content that you're doing in your IG live. Go on TikTok using your reels from Instagram. Make it super simple. Just reuse all your content. You can even, you guys, I take clips I record my podcast, I take clips, and I make it into TikToks and Reels. Super easy. Love this so much, Sam. Oh, I'm so glad you're loving this. Okay, and then I would post in Facebook groups. All right, number 7. You guys, we're only at 7. Invest in yourself. You guys have heard it from everyone, but I used to think this was a buzzword. I used to think that people were saying this so that I would invest in them. You can put an emoji if you've ever felt this way, and I would be like, all right, we get it. Like, you just want me to invest thousands of dollars into you, until I did it. And I quantum leaped. Here's the real tea. I was in a certification with ladies about like 2 years ago. And every time we went, on our certification, the ladies would be like, I'd be like, where are you at in your business? And they would be like, oh, I'm just doing the certification first. I don't actually have clients. And I was like, wait, what are you talking about? You don't actually have clients. They decided to do their certification first instead of building their business. And so while I was investing in business coaches and, business courses, I had a whole business up and running because I decided to invest in myself so much earlier. And so they were still at the beginning stages where they weren't even taking clients because I had already invested 3 times the amount. And so overall, I've invested $60,000 into this business, and that is 100% why I'm here. This is why my clients get such good results, because they get $60,000 that I've invested in myself into their containers. And so I would literally invest in yourself, period. The reason that I'm here, the reason that I'm making this is that. And I would invest in a mastermind if you're like me. So why a mastermind, right? I am someone who likes to work easier instead of harder, right? And so someone's actually waking up and asking the questions that I want to ask every single day. So I don't have to plug into my mentor every day. When I'm in one-on-one coaching containers, yes, I love them, but I actually don't plug into my mentor every day. And so the thing goes to waste, right? The container goes to waste. When you're in a mastermind, you have other women who are in there every day asking the questions that you didn't even know you wanted to ask. And when you're in a mastermind, you have other women who have specialties who are helping you in your business. There has been countless times I'm in a mastermind that I actually end up teaming up with another girl in the mastermind. And for example, there might be a retreat coming in fall. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, 8. You guys already know the power of investing in yourselves because I know you guys are queens and you got that. So 8, connect with your audience, right? You guys, this is so freaking important. This is why I connect with all of you guys. This is why I love you guys. Connect with your audience, right? Greet them when they follow you, follow them back, right? Get to know them, actually give them insane amounts of value like this without wanting anything in return. Create these relationships and the sale is inevitable. The other day I went to my workout class and the instructor came up to me and she started talking to me for 5 minutes. She wasn't even leading that specific class. And when I left, I was like, wow, that was amazing. I loved talking to her, but what I realized is I want to take her class now. She gave all this value to me and then walked away. I want you to do the same with your audience. How can you give them more value? Yesterday, I was talking to one of the girls in my audience for literally 10 minutes about her business and if she should invest in my Voxer Sprint. I told her no. I said, no, what I would do is because I knew her business, I would save your money and invest in something like a mastermind and one-on-one coaching, even if it's not with me. That is giving value. That is caring about your clients. That is actually nurturing your audience, which inevitably becomes the sale. And what I would do is I would talk to your audience, ask them what they're struggling with, and help them with what they are struggling with without wanting anything in return. This sales pouring in, telling you, pouring in. Okay, 9. Manifestation. It's manifestation time. Okay, so manifestation. Stop linking things up. Stop making something mean something about something else in your business. I see the hearts coming because it's manifestation time. If I learned this so much earlier, this could have helped with everything in my business. You are linking things up in your business, and this is why you are not becoming the person who will hit 6 figures. What do I mean? You are making the fact that you sold once and no one bought mean that no one's gonna buy. You made the fact that you sold 7 times and no one bought mean that no one's gonna buy. And then you throw your whole launch in the water because you're like, no one's going to buy. If you actually decided that people are in your audience, they wanted what you were selling, and you kept going till the very end, you would sell at your launch. It's happened to me times and times again. It happened to me when I didn't do that and I threw my launch away. And guess what happens when you throw your launch away? You're not getting anyone else in. And it's happened to me where I went to the last second, and that last second I got a literal mastermind girl into my launch at the last second. She started following me that day. That is manifestation. Stop making stuff mean. Stop making the algorithm mean that you can't get new clients. Stop making the fact that you're a new coach mean that you can't get clients. Stop making the fact that you're, making 5K months and you think you need this, and that in your business in order to make 10K months. Stop linking stuff up. Decide you are this person right now and watch everything change. I want you to have a morning routine. I said it, right? A manifestation morning routine before you even look at your phone that you get to decide how your reality goes. I want you to decide, I'm getting a client that day. Feel the feelings of the client coming, right? When you're posting on social media, I want you, before you post, to actually feel like this post is going to reach the people that you want to reach. And then when doubt comes to your mind, because we're humans, I want you to go back to the feelings of what you want. If it's a 10K month, feel the feelings of the 10K month, right? If it is another client, feel the feelings of that client signing up. I want you to infuse manifestation into all your strategies, because when you don't, you're gonna give up. Eve said, literally true. The reason I didn't give up on my latest launch was because of your tip on that. And guess what? The girl bought on the last day, I'm telling you. And something else that we're going to get to is that people actually don't buy in the middle of the launch. They're waiting and they're watching. And so they buy at the beginning of the launch and they buy at the end of the launch. And so if you throw your launch in the water, no one's going to buy, right? Because they're waiting till the end. They're waiting, they're watching you, and they're getting familiar. People love familiarity. The more you sell, the more they're gonna actually want to buy. I know, it's shocking. So go out there, sell one more time. I had a best friend. She saw my post that was like, sell one more time. She did. She got 2 more clients. Sell one more time. Okay. 10. We're at 10, but we have 2 more after this. Raise your goddamn prices. Raise your prices. If you want to hit 10K months, you need to raise your prices, and I want you to get behind your prices. So When you raise your prices, it actually creates more payment plans and higher payment plans. So what happens is you will have reoccurring revenue for months down the line. I have reoccurring revenue till 2024. Yes, I said it, till 2024. This month, 2024, because I have longer payment plans and they are bigger payment plans because my prices are higher. Get behind your prices. It's not about your prices, which goes to my next tip. It's about your messaging. If you are not getting people in at your current price, it's because of your marketing and your messaging. So tip 11. Fix your messaging, right? I want you to be way more specific. Stop using words like freedom, love, health. What does freedom mean? Freedom means different to everyone. When you just say freedom, it's not creating an emotional connection. Here's the difference. Freedom, or take your dream trip to Italy, eating homemade pasta on the shores of Positano. Which one invokes a feeling in you? The second one. I know, I wish I was there eating pasta too, getting sung to by Italian waiters. But if you join my container, you will be. Whoa, right? That's the difference. Fix your messaging and people will automatically buy, right? They will actually want to be in your world and they'll decide that the price means nothing. Why? Because when you show them the transformation and the value of who they will become, it is limitless. It is priceless in any field that you're in. Okay, 12. We finally got to 12, you guys. Before we get to 12 though, I want to tell you guys about my mastermind. Okay, so my mastermind starts May freaking 1st, my birthday month. This mastermind, if you're not in it, like literally, what are you doing? What are you doing? No, I'm serious. What are you doing? This is my most amazing container. Like literally, I wish I was a client in my mastermind. It is called the Play Bigger Mastermind for a reason. You guys have watched me over the last couple of months play bigger in ways that I never knew was possible. I came out with my membership. My podcast is weekly. I've been asked to be on YouTube. I've been selling out all of my launches and my income has been going up without doing everything. I've simplified it all and I'm so excited to teach you guys in the Play Bigger Mastermind. This is the way to get the utmost support with me for 4 months, right? You get access to my signature program, Dream Business Accelerator, so that you can go in there and actually have all the strategies that I'm talking about today. And then you get the accountability and support from me for 4 months, including one-on-one support. This container, you're going to come in one woman and you're going to come out literally the CEO of your freaking business, creating that consistent income, knowing exactly what to do. When I joined a mastermind, it clicked, period. Like literally everything clicked and I was like, oh, I know how to make a multi-million-dollar business. That was it. And I want the same for you and I want to be the mentor for you. So message me, mastermind, if you're like, yep, I'm in. This is it. I got to be in it. I think you're crazy that you're not. I'm going to be honest with you. So on to our last tip is customer experience. Bam. I really this year decided to make customer experience something that was a non-negotiable for me. Whether you are in my mastermind, whether you are in my private coaching, or whether you're in my membership. Client experience is key. Most of your clients are actually retention-based clients. So 90% is usually the people that actually come back. People in my audience, I have had clients for 2 years. This is what it's like to have a really good customer experience that keeps people safe and feeling like they're coming back. In my membership, that is right now $20 a month. It's going up to $25, so get in there. But in my membership, people have literally messaged me and said, I can't believe I'm paying you $20 for this. I feel like I'm robbing you. I feel bad. And that's the experience we want, right? We want them when they're in your mastermind to feel that white glove experience. You want to spoil your clients so that they can come back for more. I don't know if you guys have ever been to somewhere like luxurious and you go for example, dinner or a resort or anything, and they're giving you free drinks when you walk in, and they're calling you Miss Schneider, and they're just really doing the most, and you feel so loved and cared for. That's what you want to do for your client experience to get them to want to come back and tell their friends about you. So I actually had a girl in my membership say, I'm putting you in a group with another girl who wants to join the membership because I talked about it. That's a referral. I had someone from my current mastermind message my new mastermind girl who came in and said, oh my God, you are so lucky that you're in Sam's Mastermind. You are in good hands. This is referral, right? Create that customer experience. So these are the 12 things that I would do if I was hitting 10K months. Let me go back through. You guys can ask any questions if you want. If you stayed here through the whole thing, let me know. Thank you so much. This has been so long, 36 minutes of pure joy. If you have any questions, I would love to answer them, but let me just go through it really quickly. So 1, membership. I would go back and I would create a membership. 2, I would simplify my product suite. 3, I would simplify everything, right? And I would just pour into these 4 buckets: content, relationships, sales, and transformation. 4, content, I would focus on storytelling and educational and viral. 5, sales, right? On your story, I would have who is the coaching for, be specific, what do they want their life to look like and feel like, paint the picture, call to urgency, and social proof. 6, get visible. 7, invest in yourself, 8, connect with your audience. 9, manifest. 10, raise your prices. 11 I changed up 11. So messaging. 12 is customer experience. And like I said, if you'd like to join my Play Bigger Mastermind, it is a 4-month mastermind starting May 1st for the go-getter who is ready to play in the energy of 10K months, become a showstopper on the internet, and live life to the fullest. And if you're not ready for the mastermind, I actually have something for newer coaches who are coming out with their first offers, who just want to get more clients, right? Who haven't been in the game that long. That is my DBA mini mind. And it also starts May 1st. There's only a couple spots left as well. Oh my gosh, it's going to be good. But it's a month of coaching with me. It's a lot. It's really good for your first investment and dipping your toes into coaching. So I love you guys so much. I really, really hope this was so helpful, so beneficial, so valuable. And you just take this information and you run with it. So I love you.